We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the rainbow
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to NSRA Sunday Select Series. Here for the finale of the regular season. They've hit the Talladega. Now, normal 80 laps, but tonight they're going to run 74 in honor of Robert Jordan, who, in most leagues, ran car number 74. So, a little bit of a change. It'll be 6 laps short. Remember, there are no stages and 2 fast repairs. So, and if you remember Monday night, I gave everybody else an extra fast repair, and I'm pretty sure it was because of NSRA. So, let's see. Let me get old David Hartney. He's in the booth with me. I've got him all unmuted now. We got about 3 minutes left in qualifying. Currently watching Mr. Jimmy Reynolds.
Well, and I imagine, Guy, that your league is also hoping that you make the same mistake again.
Well, it's playoff time, so it's going to be an exciting Monday night as 4 drivers are going to be competing for the final 2 spots of the playoffs. So that's probably not going to happen this week, and Duvendak will probably make sure it doesn't happen. But you can see these cars out here now turning their laps. Remember, they only get 1 lap over here. Most leagues give 2. There is no cooldown lap where they can just take their time going around and get the car spun up. They get that 1 and done. So, decent sized field tonight. Currently sitting just over 20 cars. 7 have qualified already. And Talladega next week's going to start their super speedway playoff run. You can see Paul Servan at the top. He just had the fastest lap. You see that pop up? Well, it's going to give away who the pole is. As the 99, last week's race winner, looking to repeat, is out qualifying now. And the 8 of Dana Osborne just finished qualifying. Now riding with the 411 of Tom Dixon. Looks like Bubba Whittingham in the 66 just entered the track. So, man, we're going to have us a week. We're going to end this week off getting this playoff field set and ready to go. And then tomorrow night is the ASR Tours Truck Series. I don't even know where they're at. Maybe Dega? I don't know. I think it's Dega.
Your own league. Come on now.
Man, doesn't mean I read the schedule. Duvendak tells me where we're going, and I know it's going in repeat, so it might not be Dega. I know that there is 5 playoff races, so they're all going to start. Actually, I believe it's Daytona. So they're going to go back to Daytona in the trucks. And then Wednesday night, man, them next gens head over to Darlington and do a little wall riding. And then back to Thursday with old David Hartney and crew. With I heard we got some surprise artwork to maybe show, courtesy of superfan Adam St. John. So we're going to have to incorporate that somewhere into the stream. Looks like just about 10 seconds left in qualifying. John Guerrero does get his lap done, it seems. A couple drivers opt not to qualify. And we'll head big as our session going to change. We'll head over.
Guy,
Go
we
ahead.
need to figure out a way for you to listen to the race control chat. The way Babe Bubba introduced this race is just epic.
Oh, well, we might have to get Bubba up here and reintroduce it. But before we do, let's get these engines started real quick.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine! And
we're going to get those engines started. We've got 1 minute left to go in the grid, so this is the final call until race time. We heard Hartney, he's monitoring the radio and says Bubba is getting these drivers pumped and has the energy, getting that energy going for tonight's race and tonight's finale. 24 drivers, Talladega. Could it get any better than that?
I'm telling you, guy, we got to get that on the stream next week because that is epic. He's got a whole speech. It is amazing.
Oh man, well we might have to clip that. I wish he had a nice little engine start. That could become the new one.
Yeah.
We'll keep everybody updated as well. There's 43 laps to go in the NASCAR Cup Series, and Denny Hamlin is still out in front. So, I'd like to keep everybody updated. I know there's a couple guys still tuning into that, as it did get a late start due to rain. As they begin to roll, let's head to the grid. Dean Wilkinson and Paul Servan. They're on row 1. Anthony English, Tom Dixon, Sean Stevens, Les Levy, Dana Osborne, Jimmy Reynolds, Robert Morrison, Alex Giffen, Brian Kaufman, John Guerrera, Mr. David Overstreet, Russ Hancock, Joshua Gathright, Dusty Burkhart, Bubba Winningham, and Rick Sybrands. Hunter Reynolds, Mark Mann, Len McNeese, Andrew Schroeder, Dean Viney, Douglas Johnson, gonna close out. Also, a little bit of change. You see, the Xfinity car is not out there. So these guys tonight are running the Gen 4s. Let's make that track map a little bit more square for everyone.
And this should be interesting because that Gen 4 car, there's the reason it was brought in, or is the way it is now, is because of an accident from iRacing and error. So we should see some fast times and some fast racing here tonight.
Oh, and I think it's going to be a challenge for some drivers. I mean, this league's got a ton of experienced super speedway drivers, so I think they're going to handle it well. But no doubt they're going to put on a show for the Robert Jordan Memorial Race. As the pace car goes away for the first time, Wilkinson on the bottom, Servant on top. You see a couple generic paint jobs. Well, that's the Gen 4 effect. As we go green for the first time tonight, one of lap 74.
I'm loving that paint job on Dean Wilkinson's number 55 there.
Yeah, I see a little Tony the Tiger up there too. That's kind of catching my eye. So, and that's going to be up there with Anthony English.
Oh, I'm looking at that SCSRA green up there, man.
It's that color.
Get it going.
It's that color. We got a couple lime green. Look at that. He is running the broadcast car scheme.
Yeah. Thanks to Morris Customs for getting those logos and
I was
everything
going
for
to
us.
say, that's got to be old Eddie Morris over there at Morris Customs throwing in a paint scheme, and it looks fantastic out there. It's currently battling for the lead. Paul Servant, that 3 Oreo, holding that high line.
Well, 3 wide going in the back of the field there.
Tom Dixon, Anthony English are going to be responsible pushers as they're going to work, just try to keep the tone of the battle for first. And just like that, Servant is going to clear. He's going to come down in front of Dean Wilkinson. You see that third line, it's starting to form. It had a couple more cars in there. Oh, one's going to come up and we're going to join.
And like I was saying earlier, low restrictor plates in these cars. We're going 206 miles an hour entering turn 3 here.
These guys are flying around this track right now. Handling it very well. As Gathright just gets the fastest lap of the session. We know that won't last till the end. As if stays true, the fastest laps seem to come towards the end of all super speedway racing. Right now, Servant getting pushed around by Dean Wilkinson. Tom Dixon, he's on that middle lane. He's trying to get some help from little Jimmy Reynolds. I see a little bit of chrome in that 17's numbers there. He's got himself a good looking paint job. You see that chrome shining as they come out of 2. You can see the little Busch representation back there. Ran by drivers like Harvick and Chastain. And 3 wide for the lead once again. 6 cars on the bottom, 3 cars in the middle, and 4 up top. Who's going to win this battle? Those high runs, those exit speeds should prevail here. And sure enough, dropping down is the 62 of Les Levy. He's going to move into that middle lane. Now he's looking to get clear of Servant. As Tom Dixon gets to the bumper, he's going to be doing the pushing for Les. Looks like Sean Stevens now joining that mix. You see Gathright, he's up there. He's got himself that lime green. He's currently sitting 5th. His third line kind of disintegrates. We're back to side-by-side racing. Servant and Les Levy, they're going to battle here. Wilkinson, Tom Dixon, be your pushers.
Everyone seems to be very cordial at this point in the race. I know we got just about 70 laps to go, but everyone looks doing pretty good and being nice to each other for the next 60-ish laps.
Well, and you know, and they know, there is plenty of time. No reason to mess up the car early, even with those 2 fast repairs. Sometimes it's just safer to ride and try to separate if you can. Being that we've gone to the Gen 4, these guys still figuring out these cars and how hard they can push them. So one of the worst things I think about switching to a new car is you do not know its threshold on temperatures, and sometimes that can end a night very quickly if you blow your motor. Third line, it's formed back up. Gathright, he's going to head up there. And 3 wide racing as they come back around towards the start-finish line. Servant still on that bottom line, being pushed by Dean Wilkinson. Les Levy still getting pushed around by Tom Dixon. They're staying with each other. That top line trying to make something happen. And I don't think they're tight enough.
Well, these cars must push a lot of air up high pretty quickly, because Alex Giffen back here running by himself, still 7-8 cars off of the group up there, and he's still going just as fast as they are. So these cars must still air pretty high up in the air to create a long slipstream.
And we'll ride with Giffen. You can see he's going from bottom line to top line. He's trying to get whichever car is going to be trailing. He's going to try to catch the air from that car. We'll see if he goes up high again or if he's just going to sit in the middle. And there he goes. Third line trails back a little bit. Giffen heads to the high side. And no problem as the 99 begins to suck up into that third lane. Burkhart, Anthony English, Dana Osborne. They're looking to see if they can maybe get a little bit of air and close up a gap.
Well, Adam Schroeder just said he's got to back out. Sounds like he's getting pretty warm already.
And I was going to say, is Schroeder going to be in that jet skiing? Of course he is. Runs the same scheme everywhere. As you see him arcing from the third line, he's going to pull up to the rear of the 99. Still the same running order up front. Levy and Servant still battling. Gathright still holding on to that third line. You can see him, he kind of did a half tuck in there and comes back out to the, making it 3 wide.
Well, we've got some cars in the third line on the wall. Third line checks up here.
And you can see the third line kind of disintegrates there, leaving Gathright out by himself. He's going to get in. He's going to have to make an aggressive move right here, and he does. He's going to drop it in. And immediately peeks his way out to the third line, realizes the help not coming.
I reckon.
Are we going to get a caution? Schroeder still driving. We've got one stopped on the track, and well, that one gonna bring some chaos. Let's bring
Initially
it back.
was, yeah, that was initially contact between the number 99 and let's see here.
That looks like Viney and Giffen, I believe.
John Guerra actually in the 88.
And the 88.
Yep, coming into the tri-oval.
Oh, there it is. You can see the 99. The 88 make contact. That's going to collect Schroeder. Well, the 99, he goes airborne.
He gets a ride on the roof of somebody.
Gets a ride right on the roof of Andrew Schroeder. See the 99, he had the middle line. Don't think he expected the 88 to come down. 88 was riding high. Comes down and contact made. And just like that, our first caution of the night. So Hamlin still leading this race. 19 laps to go in the NASCAR race, in case you're wondering.
That's
Busher,
it? It's almost over?
it's almost over, and Busher trying to run him down. We'll see if he's got enough here. But Paul Servant, Wilkinson, Les Levy, Tom Dixon. These 4 guys have been battling up here in the lead. A pretty good 13-lap stint. A lot of 3-wide racing already off. As I believe pit road should be open this time around. Couple meatball flags. Viney, Giffen, Douglas Johnson, Andrew Schroeder all received meatball flags. So that's one of the downfalls of the gen is, well, it does not like contact. As you can see, pit stops coming. Ooh, Robert Morrison Reed comes in. Did he? I don't believe he ever actually stopped. We're going to have to watch Morrison. Was this a drive-through so that he can pit the next time around but get a lap led?
Well, I didn't see him stop at all there.
He didn't stop. He did not. He did drive all the way through the pits.
Interesting.
Huh. We're going to have to see if he goes back in. I'm guessing that the 74 will probably head back in. Yeah. Not quite sure why he didn't stop. Did he miss his pit box? Maybe come in too hot? I'm not sure. Or is he just looking for that lap lead? I don't know.
Well, it's not a bad strategy. I know that you can't pit on the second lap if you're on the lead lap to stop for fuel without getting a black flag. So with them running such small fuel tanks or limits here, that may be the move. He got the lap lead for the extra bonus point, but then now can come down and get fuel and have just another lap or two extra than everybody else is going to have. Not a bad strategy, Cotton, if that's what's going on.
Well, I'm thinking that's where we're headed here. As you see, him and David Overstreet coming back down. That's going to move Servant Wilkinson back out to the lead.
Yep, he's going to pit this time by.
As the light's going to go off on the pace car.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna write that in the notebook here because that's not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea on a super speedway when you need
it's not.
When you need to pit and not get the black.
But then also get the lap lead. That's not a bad. That's a
How
pretty
to
good
get the
strategy.
point. That's one way to get a point.
We are going to Talladega soon in the SCSRA, so I'm gonna remember that one.
Oh, we saw the schedule reveal. It's you're going to be going there a bunch next season.
I'm excited.
Man, what was it? 3 super speedway races with the Daytona leading things off. Yeah, it's going to be a good season over there.
We got the Daytona leading off the season, and then we got a mid-season Talladega race and a playoff Talladega race. So it should be interesting.
I'm just glad Tony Sarge changed his shirt. He no longer has the I Love Hot Moms represented on Wednesday's show. Tonight he's got the I Got Your 6, so I'm just glad you know what, he changes the clothes a ton. Probably more than most drivers do.
Probably.
But they're going into 3 and 4. Dean going to be on top. Let's take a look at Dean's car here. See if we can get us. We'll get a little rear chase. It sure is nice. Got himself his own private license plate going on. Oh, we're going to see the 8 come down and make contact. Dana Osborne comes down and actually gives Dean a little love tap. As you can see, the pace car below the yellow. They're going to come to the line. We're going green. We'll ride following the 3. Wilkinson on his outside. They enter the Geico restart zone. Hear those motors spin back up. And we're back to green flag racing. Oh, looks like Douglas Johnson, he received a black flag. So I wonder if that was maybe passing under yellow. I'm not sure. Received it after the green flag, though, so I have not seen it cleared. We'll see if Johnson has to serve his penalty.
It looks like he's going in now.
And here it comes. As we'll get back into the pack. Side-by-side racing. We saw in that first stint, Gathright really pushing that that third line. He's currently sitting 7th. We try to push it again. Right now, trapped on the inside, but Andrew Schroeder on his outside. And side by side, they continue to go. Gathright trapped onto the bottom.
It does look like Doug Johnson on the radio. He did say you got a passing under yellow. So, according to their rule book, he should have asked for that to be cleared. He was on the inside. He shouldn't have gotten that penalty.
Well, he has served it, and
Yep.
with that, he now sits 43 seconds outside this pack. So, unless
They're barreling down on him quick.
well, unless there's another caution, he is going to become the one and only lap car other than Hunter Reynolds. And Hunter, I believe, not in the race, so. Let's look at fast repairs. Who had to use one? Well, Doug Johnson, Alex Giffen, Andrew Schroeder. So 3 fast repairs already used. Remember, Giffen used both of his early last week. Still stayed up there in the mix. As we are back 3 wide. This time Robert Morrison going to push his luck on that outside line. He's going to have the 46 of Dave Overstreet with them. That third car in the middle lane, you see that's Andrew Schroeder. Well, he's not pulling up as tight as needed. And really the third car, an important one to get that line going. As you can see, Doug Johnson just dropping below yellow, allowing the pack to go by him. Ooh, Schroeder breaks a little bit. Saw him get a little squirrely. Able to keep it straight. Servant still up here racing. Mr. Dean Wilkinson for the lead. Morrison trying to be competitive out there. Overstreet doing everything he can to push the 74 up to the front. Here they come on a big run. Will Morrison get clear of Dean Wilkinson? That run's going to die as they enter turn 3. 2 cars I don't think is going to be enough to compete with these 2 bottom lines. And just like that, they get a little bit of help up into that third lane. You got 3 up in the third, 4 in the middle, and a whole slew of them on the bottom. Les Levy, you see him doing the pushing here on Dean Wilkinson. It's not the first time though we've seen Schroeder's car. Just saw it kind of get a little squirrely again. It's a brand new car coming out of a fast repair. Whoa, Les comes down, almost makes contact with Brian Kaufman. Kaufman, that 01 on the bottom. Came down, almost pinched a little too hard, and able to avoid causing a wreck. Robin Morrison still on that high side. Still trying to get a good run. Wilkinson, or Overstreet, sorry, is still trying to push him clear of Gene Wilkinson in that 5-5. Servant still controlling the bottom line. Dean not able to get clear of the 3. We haven't seen too many cars get clear and able to drop down in front, where you see it a lot with the trucks or the Xfinities. You see those cars get clear quite often, and some major drops come to cut down that bottom line. Right now, it's a side-by-side battle all the way around the track. And already at 50 laps to go, as they start pinching extremely tight into each other. You see the 74 not giving much room. He's going to try to take away as much air as possible, and they're going to head up back to that third line as they enter turn 3. You can see Morrison pinching all the way down as they exit 4, or exit 2, sorry, and enter the backstretch. Now they enter 3. Let's see if that high side comes back down. This time they're going to give them a little bit more space.
It's amazing what 2 cars on the outside and the third row can do, especially in these cars.
Yeah, they definitely have to have good airflow going there for these two to be able to compete. Especially, you can see how hard the 411 of Dixon is pushing Servant.
Yeah. You would never see that in the next gens of the trucks.
No,
Never.
Not with that air bubble.
Nope. I mean, you can side draft to pull the cars off in front of these other cars, but man, Alex Given was doing earlier. He was by himself, 8 cars back, and was able to catch the field again. It's crazy how different this aero package is. Just sitting here 3 wide. Everyone's comfortable and staying in line. Doesn't look like anybody's. Yeah, not a whole lot of movement. Doesn't look like people are overheating. I haven't heard anybody say anything about heating issues yet. So it seems to be that little bit of gap they're running in between them seems to be proving pretty good for them.
Well, we're going to see what Andrew Schroeder does. It looks like he's abandoned the middle line. He's kind of went up to the third line. Well, now he's heading all the way down to the bottom line. So Schroeder goes all the way from the third, back to the middle, down to the bottom. And right now, another 14-lap stint. Three wide the entire way.
Well, maybe the number 48 is getting ready for a pit stop. Oh, back up to the second line. Oh, back down to the middle.
As that third line goes away as Morrison falls behind Les Levy. And they're going to try to get this 5-5 clear. Outside line gets a big run. Dean's going to take his shot, and he's going to drop down to the lead. Dean Wilkinson in that number 55, running that NSRA paint scheme tonight, is our new leader. And Busher just won Kansas. Gets around Larson, gets around Elliott. Okay. Didn't see that one coming.
Looks like everyone's kind of fallen to the inside line here, so I would expect to see some green flag stops here pretty shortly.
Well, and if we know anything about green flag stops, it could create some chaos if they don't keep it clean coming down pit road, and could really separate the field.
And as of right now, I haven't heard anybody calling out pitting, so we'll see what they do here. Number 8 to the outside or to the middle line here. By himself, I don't think he's got anybody with him unless I'm by himself, and he's still able to catch up to the maintain pace on that outside line there.
As we bubble Winningham, let's see if he's trying to pull all the way up. Les Levy, by the way, drops down in front of the 5-5, Dean Wilkinson. He's now on the bottom side. And you would expect, with everybody coming down, it is almost pit stop time. If you're Robert Morrison or Dave Overstreet, you may be in a bad way pitting alone here. See a couple other cars about mid-pack. Well, they're stuck on the high side too.
And they're now talking about the NASCAR finish over the radio.
Oh, well. Even the drivers were watching.
That would explain why some of these cars were kind of wiggling all over the track there.
Oh, there was a late caution came out with about 5 to go.
They're still talking about it. I guess it was a .000 finish.
Oh, it was extremely close.
Have they called it yet?
I believe it was called.
Well, maybe these guys will start focusing on driving in a straight line again. Maybe that's why they all went single file to watch the rest of this race.
It might have been. Because they definitely starting to span back out. As Jimmy Reynolds, well, he's now coming up there with old Les on that high side.
For a good 2-3 laps, I was watching a couple of these drivers, and they were all over the track. And then when you said that, I heard how close this finish was, it made a lot more sense why they were all over the place.
Where it all came back.
Yeah.
Because they seem to balance back out, and well, everybody's doing A-okay now. Of course, Adam St. John in the chat also commenting about the 5.5's paint scheme. Levy now trying to get clear. Giving Len McNeese everything he's got. Will Len McNeese be able to get past Levy? He will not, as that middle line kind of falls apart again on him. And we've got our first pit stops. Here they come, to include the 5.5 of Wilkinson. Levy and Servant, they stayed out. They've got McNeese, Robert Morrison. So pitting in that time, looks like Doug Johnson, Dean Wilkinson, Dana Osborne, Brian Kaufman, Tom Dixon, Rick Sybrands, Mark Mann, Anthony English, Sean Stevens, Gathright, Jimmy Reynolds, and Andrew Schroeder. So a good chunk of drivers have entered the pits. Hart, need you to take a look at the pits. How are they looking? As here comes the second bunch. And this should be everyone else coming in one lap later. A little bit of chaos there. Some guys hitting some grass on this pit. But everyone seems to have saved it. As Dean Wilkinson looks to be leading the pack from that first group that pit in. He's got Brian Kaufman running with them. Wilkinson currently 12th, and that's going to change as the race on pit road happening now. You're going to start seeing the merged traffic coming, and there it is. Dean Wilkinson can see it. He's coming up on all those drivers right now. He's going to have to get all the way up to Len McNeese. As Wilkinson driving on that outside, Len McNeese is sitting duck right now. Doesn't throw the block, just lets him go by. You know, you normally see it in NASCAR in this situation. They try to block each other, try to make everyone swerve as much as they could, change lanes. McNeese, he just stays low and he'll catch the back, currently sitting 8th. It's going to be Wilkinson, Kaufman, Cybrands, Mark Mann, Anthony English, Gathright, Tom Dixon, Len McNeese, Dusty Burkhart, and Paul Servant is going to be your top 10. It looks like everybody pit. Schroeder in the pits now. Has not come out. And that is not good for Andrew Schroeder. They're going to go single file. Let's see if they're able to pull away and put a little separation in this field. Did they hand that race win to Larson? I believe they took it away from Buescher, and Larson took the win away. Interesting. So Kyle Larson actually takes the win away from Mr. Buescher, and it was a photo finish. It's probably why all these guys were swerving all over the place. As Wilkinson, Kaufman, Cybrands, they're trying to stay out in front, but we see a middle lane coming. And that's Len McNeese out there. We know 3 cars are going to be able to, if they work together, they'll be able to push up to the side of Wilkinson in the 55. As Dana Osborne just records the fastest lap of the session.
I see that Douglas Johnson and John Guerra disconnected. What happened?
Well, I'm not really sure. Hunter Reynolds had some problems. Schroeder's still in on pit road. John Guerrera looks to be disconnected. Bubba Winningham, now a lap down. Dana Osborne, a lap down. Les Levy, a lap down.
Looks like that John Guerra may have had an unsafe entry into pit road and got a black flag, and they just called it a night for himself.
as 3 cars currently competing for the fastest lap, or the fastest lap, for the lucky dog. When right now, well, they're going to try to get it back the hard way, as 2 of them you see get past Dean Wilkinson out there in the 5.5, and that's going to be the 62 of Les Levy. He is going to clear down. That's going to leave the 8 of Dana Osborne, the first car, a lap down and stuck on that outside with no help. Dana going to find a spot and fall in right behind. Looks like Servant right there. It was Paul Servant into 3. So we have a lap car leading the leaders.
The man, is he going to stay? He's going to want to stay right there just in case something happens.
Absolutely. Get that lap back. Currently Les on the lead lap with the leader Dean Wilkinson pushing.
Man, Guy, I'm looking at a picture of this finish from Larson and Buescher. I don't even know how they can call it for Larson. That is extremely close.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at some of our Shooter McGavin chat here, and Duvendak saying, wait a second, is the line even straight? If you look at the paint job, it's not a very clean line. It very well buffs towards Larson's way.
Yeah.
Balenciaga comes up in here and says, I hate up guy. Sorry, what's up guy, not I hate guy. Welcome, Chucky. Tuning in on Facebook.
Chucky is our very loyal Facebook participant. We got Adam in the on the YouTube
world.
chat. Yep. On the 55 with that paint scheme. I know, man. It's looking awesome.
Well, it's looking a lot better right now as Dean Wilkinson's still out in front. These guys riding a lot of single file. Paul Servant currently sitting 9th and leading a second pack of drivers to include David Overstreet, Alex Giffen, Robert Morrison. They're still 3.5 seconds back. And they're doing everything they can to try to catch up. And just not happening as Dean Wilkinson's pack now gets the gap to just over 4 seconds. So remember, this race right now being led by a lap car in Les Levy, who I guess technically is still on the lead lap, but currently sitting 18th.
I think these cars behind him are just going to let him eat up the fuel leading this pack.
Well, when you look at the difference in speed, I don't know. They're hitting the same around the speeds, but this lead pack just really lengthened up. And with having less out in front, well, that is good if you're Dean Wilkinson. You're not the leader burning up the most fuel. You've got less burning up the most.
Yep.
That other pack with Paul Servant, well, he's on the lead lap. He's in 9th. They've got it under 4 now. They're going to have to stay organized. Looks like Viney just goes a lap down. Dana Osborne still a lap down. Remember, the 8 is riding in the pack. Currently looking for a lucky dog. Dean gonna connect himself to the back of this lead pack. But if a caution was to come out, Dean is gonna have to be in front of that 8 car or try to work for the wave around. And so far, not a lot of cautions going on. We've only had one on the night, and that came from a 3 wide situation. This guy's currently riding single file in 2 different packs. It's going to be extremely hard to get a caution out of here. Already back to a 14 lap stint. I believe they pit last time right around 21. So you're talking another 6 or 7 laps. We should see some more green flag pit stops coming our way, and should be our last pit stop of the night. As we're approaching lap 50 of 74, they definitely want to get it down for that fuel window and that light to come on, saying they got enough. 1 pit stop to go. Maybe try to push it a lap or 2 extra and get some green-white checker time, as they do have 2 of those here. And you can see single file all the way back. Dean Wilkinson still leading the way. You know, I'm looking at the new software update, and I don't see the laps led anymore up there. So I wonder where that one went. I'll let Hartney play with that and see if he can figure it out.
Oh yeah, bud. I like that field. Where'd that go?
I don't know. That's what I'm like. Where is the lap led field? It's gone.
Well, I'll have to message the developer, because that was probably one of my most favorite tabs here.
Yeah, that lap led, pretty important. We saw, we saw the call outs coming last week's NSRA's next gen, as it was chaos, the amount of cars who led a lap and who didn't lead a lap. We know it came down to a very tight points race where Riley Gomes eventually able to claim it. And we are past lap 50. Here at the Robert Jordan 74 at Talladega. There are 24 laps to go. Let's check in, as it looks like this second pack has caught just in time to pit again. Servant and crew. That's going to be Servant, Overstreet, Hancock, Robert Morrison, Alex Giffen. They have caught that lead pack. "23 laps to go. Fuel window, I do not believe open yet. Here in the next 2 laps, though, we should see some green flag pit stops. Just in time for this side-by-side racing. You can see they're finally back to side-by-side. Pit stops coming our way.
Yeah, I was just about to say we're getting some messages in the chat that they're starting to pit. So
Oh, it's coming.
here we go.
They're on that 19-lap run. Some of these drivers, they know that light's on. They're going to expect no green-white checkers and try to take it early. try to separate back up.
Oh, looks like no one pit. Okay. There's only 2 guys that said they were pitting in, so I wonder if they're trying to wait for some more people.
Well, or maybe they're trying to bait the field to go in, and if the field goes, they'll go with them.
Maybe.
It's going to be real interesting to see what the 62 does out here. I believe he's got to go in with them, but Les, remember, just hanging on, not being a lap car.
I believe Dean just said he was pitting in.
And Dean
Yep,
is going
there
to
he
pit
goes.
this time. Oh, Dean only going to bring 2 cars with him for the bait. And he's going to have to be
Almost
quick
doesn't
here.
make it.
Gets it locked up just in time. He is going to come in with the 01 and the 411. That's going to be Tom Dix and Brian Kaufman. That's going to bring Dusty Burkhart to the lead.
Oh, Dusty's coming in next lap. Robert Morrison coming next lap. Jimmy Reynolds, Les Levy, Russ Hancock, Lynn McNeese, Dana Osborne. We got a lot of people coming in this next lap around.
Well, you still have
55 is off.
you still got a pretty big middle line going. As it looks like Sean Stevens and Jimmy Reynolds did go in the pit. Burkhart still your current leader.
Looks like the 55 of Dean Wilkinson was able to get off after everybody else, or before everybody else, so he's got a pretty big gap between the 2 guys that pit with him.
That's not good.
A
It's not
lot
good
more
to come
guys
out
coming in this time.
Yeah, you do not want to be out there by yourself. We got a lot of lap traffic, or guys that are fighting to not become lap traffic, kind of stuck in the mix right now. And that's going to be that lead car. And here he comes. Does the 8 come in? It looks like he will come in. Les going to come in. And here they all come. 2 cars do remain on track. One was Bubba.
Looks like the number 8 of Dana Osborne got a black flag.
Well, I bet that was speeding in the pits.
Oh yeah, came in way too hot.
You see how fast the 8 comes in under the replay, locks him up way too late. Ooh, Gathright extremely fast to get off pit road. Les Levy also pretty quick comes off pit road. And now Les still battling, desperately needs a caution. Les has done everything to stay out in front and not become a lap car. Done a really good job of it. Needs to see a caution in the next 18 laps if he wants any chance of getting to the front of this race. Gathright pulling right up to the back bumper. And Gathright, our current leader. Remember, Gathright was one of the drivers who was out on that 3rd line and just kept pushing the issue. Wanted it out there. Eventually realized, okay, maybe we just need to go single file, and battles his way all the way back up to the lead. Pushing the last car on the lead lap. Les Levy around the track. And they're on the high side. Wilkinson pushed again by the 411 of Tom Dixon. Looks like Len McNeese now gets in front of Dean. And side-by-side racing, here we come. Pit stops are complete. These guys should have the gas to finish this race. As Len McNeese to the lead, will he clear down? He does. He's going to clear down in front of Les Levy. That's going to leave the 5.5 of Dean Wilkinson on the high side, or getting pushed around by the 4.11 of Tom Dixon. Saw Les kind of poke out a little bit. That's, well, remember, Les now a lap down. He's been out in front of the leaders most of the night, but currently falls a lap down.
He is the first one a lap down, so he's going to be the lucky dog, and he's got a good distance to the second place.
Yeah, but I
For
don't
the
know
guy
if you want
behind
to be
him.
the lucky dog here, because if you get that mysterious 0x from someone pushing from behind you and you're
True.
stuck in the mix, your lucky dog goes away and you didn't do anything. So that's why Les was so hell-bent on staying out in front.
Yep.
You can see the 5.5 staying on that outside. We've seen Dixon stay with them all night. We'll see if Dixon tries to get him clear to get back down in front, or if these two just content sitting in that middle line and trying to bring this thing home to the end. Dixon goes way up high, maybe trying to ram some cold air up in there. And what did I say? If you're Les, you do not want to be a lap down because of that dreaded 0x. Les goes in front of Wilkinson. Will Les come down in front of Len McNeese? He could clear if he wants, or will he stay with the 5.5?
And there's your answer.
Drops on down.
This is also a precarious position to be in as well, because even at the front of the field, with less than 15 laps to go, they're going to start pushing like crazy. So you're going to get a 0x every time they touch you. So
You got to be in front.
it's an interesting situation he's in.
He's going to have to try to keep that nose out in front as much as possible. And I think he's proven he's done a good job doing it. He's been there
Absolutely.
at least a half of this race. The whole last gas run, I'm not quite sure how he stayed out there in front, battled his way all back up. You know, there's an easy way with the lucky dog, and there's the less way. And I'm curious if we just go take a look at our chats. Where is Mr. Les? Well, Les not down there with any of those drivers, so he's driving right now with Servan, Dana Osborne, and Russell Hancock, so and it's going to be extremely tough to get a caution anywhere on this track but right here in this lead group. We have a lot of separation once we get out of this main group. Oh, Les almost in danger zone. You saw him drop below that line, able to clear back up in front of McNeese just in time. That was going to be dangerous.
Yeah. I do see Les down there with Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, and Russell Hancock. So his team's right there up there with them. They were.
Yeah, Hancock right now is currently sitting in 11. I believe the 8 is currently 2 laps down. And that's going to be Dana Osborne.
He's 2 laps down, but he's third
he's-
in line on the outside line.
He has been in this mix all night. And
Yep.
I believe only 2 laps down because of that penalty. That speeding penalty. After the last green flag pit stops, we saw the 8 come in a little bit too fast and lock him up late. And that's what caused the 2 laps, as the 8 was battling right on that cusp of going a lap down. Kind of like Les has been doing all night.
We've got about 10 laps left to go in this race, and this is where you're going to start seeing everyone get real aggressive.
And not a lot of fast repairs used, only the 1 caution tonight. That caution did claim 3 fast repairs. Well, it claimed a couple more. I think people took them by accident. And there's a couple fast repairs, and I think those were going to be taken by accident. 2 of those drivers who use fast repairs, Doug Johnson and Schroeder, they're no longer in session, so we won't have to worry about using a second one.
And this is why I have my app in file, have that disabled at the start.
Absolutely. That was the first thing when I got iRacing Deck made me do. After I notoriously kept using my fast repairs. Or wrecking trying to turn my fast repair off. Multitasking, not really my forte when I'm driving. I'm that guy turning the radio down while I'm looking for something. I think all dads understand that.
Absolutely.
You're looking for something, turn the radio down, I gotta look for it.
Or we're looking for a street sign. Got a left turn coming up in 4.5 miles. Everyone, I need silence.
Yep, turn it all down. Everybody stay quiet. Gotta follow the GPS. And still miss the turn. You can see he's becoming a little bit more aggressive out here. We've got David Overstreet trying to get back up to that high side. Remember, Overstreet was out there earlier in the night with old Robbie Morrison. Morrison right now kind of locked himself into that bottom line. He's got cars all around him and no gaps. And we haven't said too much tonight. The 343 of Russell Hancock. He's the 3rd car in the middle lane. Will he stay in the middle or will he head to the high side? If you're on that bottom line, one of the problems you have is this could come down. Whoa, almost getting a big wreck there.
Yeah.
Good save coming out. One thing these guys are going to have to worry about with Les out there in front, that slows down the 84 if this was to come down to a finish, a photo finish as the first car. Well, he'd be your last lead lap car. And right now, it's starting to look like that could be the way this finishes. With the 3 cars coming across the line very close together. As they come across the start-finish line, we will head to 5 to go. And just like Fox, we'll head to commercial. As we
Would be perfect timing for everybody else.
Well, gotta go to a commercial. We'll be right back.
And then the commercial comes back with white flag.
I don't know what happened. As that 3rd line is formed, you've got the 46, the 89, 44. You've got a couple of them out there. Anthony English being one of them. And Cybrands, we know English and Cybrands. Well, they can do some heavy work here. Can they get that 46 out to the front? David Overstreet. And it's balanced. You've got 4 cars on 4 cars on 4 cars with 1 car going between all 3 lanes. And look at that view. You can't ask for much tighter racing.
We've got some drivers saying on radio that they're running out of time.
Uh-oh. And you know what? I can actually check that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, we're going to get a wreck. Maybe that's the time they're running out on.
Did Les keep his lap? Did he get it back?
Oh, this is going to be close. I believe Les has not slowed down. He is in the gas. And this is going to bring one of the two green white
Let's see
checkers.
if he goes around the pace car here.
Oh, I believe so. He's not coming out of the
He's
gas
not slowing
yet.
down at all.
Les comes around, and it pays off. The 62 coming back a lap.
And it looks like I think I heard just David Overstreet claim that one, so that may have been
Well, we got a little bit after watching Les go all the way around. We're gonna rewind it all the way back, and it looks like
it was.
Overstreet gets into the wall.
Yep.
And it's going to cause a major checkup as the 89 gets turned by the 44. And Overstreet going to claim it because he put it in the wall and it kind of slowed everyone down. But green-white checkered coming our way. I'll tell you what, second caution of the night to a green-white checkered. We're going to head to our first and only commercial break. And we're back from our long commercial break. The coming out of there, Dean Wilkinson, now your leader. Len McNeese going to be number 2. Tom Dixon going to be pushing Dean Wilkinson. Well, we've seen that work pretty handily all night. Hancock going to be starting 4th. Robert Morrison 5th. Servant 6th. Dusty Burkhart 7th. Alex Giffen 8th. Gathright starting 9th. And Mr. David Overstreet rounding out your top 10. Les Levy all the way back to 16th. As the lights are off on the pace car, this will be the first of 2 green-white checkers. We'll get old David Hartney back up and unmuted as he's coming back from his commercial break. And with it only being 2 green-white checkers, we can only have 1 more wreck. So
Looks like the lights are back on the pace car, so we'll be going green next time, or not this time by, but next time.
As it just kicked, I think it just finally kicked in that, oh, green, white, checkered's coming. iRacing math. We got the math for him, though. Well, going to be interesting here is Dixon going to be responsible for pushing Dean Wilkinson. He's been there all night, pushing Dean around the track. They're back to their comfort groove on that lower line. McNeese, well, looks like he's going to get, looks like Hancock. So Russ Hancock going to be that second car on the high side. They're going to have help with the 3 of Paul Servan. So Morrison going to line up next to Servan, man. This is going to be a little bit of chaos in a 2-lap shoot.
Interesting interesting news here coming from the driver chat. When they added that lap there, it may have actually done put some people in trouble with fuel here. So we'll see what happens here. Lots of tire wear coming from these guys as well. We're seeing right fronts down in the 40s after that run. So we got some interesting turn of events here.
Well, Dean Wilkinson and Tom Dixon, I'm guessing it's those two and Morrison, as they're on 21 and 20 lap stints. And you can see Dixon pulls right to the bottom, trying to find a short way around as he's coasting, saving every bit of fuel he can have. Yeah, we didn't really think about the fuel problem. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers, and that's going to be Dusty Servan, Alex Giffen, McNeese. They're going to be on a 19 lap, so it's going to be very close for them. Everybody else went into pit, and they have plenty of fuel. And most look like they took fresh tires. I don't know if the tires are going to play out too much, but they're hoping they do. And that's going to start back in 9 with Josh Gathright taking a big risk. Do they try to get into the third line and surge past these leaders? As the pace car dropping slowly behind yellow. And we'll stay with Dean Wilkinson. As he comes to the Geico restart zone. I don't know why. It looks like the 5.5's car is shimmying. You hear that motor starting to rev back up. And we're going to go for a 2-lap shootout. They come across start finish one more time. This will end. If a caution comes out before they get there, we will head to our second green-white checkered and final green-white checkered. So right now, if you're Dean Wilkinson on a 22-lap stint, you are praying to have the fuel, but you're really playing for no caution. As we're going to get the caution, and that's going to start up there with the leaders and Len McNeese. I'm not quite sure what happens to Len.
Looks like Alex Giffen may have been the first one involved in that pushing the pushers. And kind of everyone just stacked up in front of him. And
accordion effect.
Yeah.
Well, normally you'd be happy if you're Dean Wilkinson that you're not involved. The problem is, I don't think he is going to have the gas.
I don't think so either. They were already talking about it in the last caution. that adding that extra lap may have hurt a bunch of people. So let's see what they do here.
Well, I think if you're Dean, you've got to try to pit as fast as you can because there's a lot of damaged cars behind them.
Yep.
So you're going to have a bunch of cars coming in. They're going to take fast repairs, knowing that it's only the final green-white checkered coming. And you can see Wilkinson trying to catch up to the pace car. He's on that bottom. We'll ride with the pace car. You can see Dean is not coming on the track. That 5.5's got to be on fumes.
Let's see if he goes in here. Looks like there's a couple of guys coming in behind him if he does go in.
I think it'd be too tight not
Yeah.
to, and here comes the 5.5. Len McNeese, who took the shove, he's going to stay out and become our next leader. Dusty Burkhart opts to stay out. Looks like Jimmy Reynolds, Mark Mann. And just like that, this entire field has shifted.
Oh man, he looks like he took left side tires too.
Oh, Dean
Oh,
gets
almost loses it.
And luckily, somehow, the 44 netcoats through him instead of taking him out. That is an iRacing break right there. You normally see it lift as they exit the pit boxes. And that maybe because he came back down in line with the pit boxes, but normally the 44 right there would have spun the 5.5, and looks like he's okay. And that's a break for Dean Wilkinson.
Now what does he do to get back up front?
Pray for a wreck and drive past it. The problem is, even with the wreck, this is it.
Pray for a wreck on the white flag then?
Just pray for a wreck on the white flag and get past it. Dean can be back here in 9th, so he's still with Tom Dixon. Dixon's still back there. They're going to have a pretty good opportunity to get in that 3rd lane and try to play catch-up.
Adam St. John in chat, here we go. Showtime to the line. That's exactly right. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be the last green-white checkered of the night, so if we get a caution on the first lap, the caution will win the race. If we get to the white flag, we'll race it to the line. So this is going to be, hopefully they can get to that white flag before something happens. But what caused that last one was guys in the middle of the field getting a little impatient and pushing the pusher, and you cannot do that. Really in any series, doesn't matter really what car you're driving, you cannot push the pushers. So you've got to just kind of hang on and pray and hope something happens in front of you, or make it happen on the 3rd line, which they've been doing all night.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the 2-lap shootout, and I would be shocked. We didn't have but one caution until we got to the end of this race, so I would be shocked if they don't wreck here, as these cars can be pushing extremely hard. Now, remember the 62, Les Levy, he rode in the front all night as the last car on the lead lap, getting pushed by leaders. He finally got his lap back as he was out in front of the last caution. Started way back there in what, 18th? Les currently 6th. So he is back in the mix.
Talk about a return.
Yeah, he is looking to steal a race here off a crazy night.
Man, if I was him, I would even take the 6th place at this point. I mean, that's a fantastic race compared to where he's been.
As we saw him all the way back. And let's see. It looks like Bubba Winningham got his lap back that time around. So Dana Osborne going to be 2 laps down and no chance to come back from that. As the lights off on the pace car. We'll see as they enter 3 and 4. Pace car make that dramatic slow exit to the pits. And we'll ride with Len McNeese on this restart.
Pace car's off. Here we go. 2 laps to go.
McNeese approaching the Geico restart zone. Got the 69 to his outside. Trying to keep it in speed. Enters the restart zone. Here comes the spool up late. And we're back to green for this 2-lap shootout. The 84 next to the 69. Who's going to be the first car to go to that third line? Here it comes. Will the 99 come up? Well, looks like that's going to be the 89 coming up, and that's going to be Gathray. Remember, he started this race.
We are 4 wide.
We are 4 wide, trying to get to the lead. Wilkinson, he's going to be in this mix. Oh, the 4 starting to lose it. Able to save it, and they're going to continue 4 wide. Dusty Burkhart out front. And Dusty now going to be put 3 wide. They're coming to the line, and the turn's going to happen before the line. Does the caution come out? It does. And that is going to end the night. As we just got to switch to a final lap. The caution came out, but I think the white flag came out first. As you can see, Jimmy Reynolds not slowing down in the 17. And we are going to finish. Jimmy Reynolds, I believe, is going to steal the win. Or is Dean going to steal the win? This is chaos here for a second, as we're going to have to figure it out. Looks like Dean Viney right now showing first. Jimmy Reynolds showing second. It was showing Reynolds first. Russ Hancock third. This is all going to be when the caution came out. They're going to have to get back in the running order.
They've got to get back in running order and still cross the line, because the race still is not over yet. So they've got to wait for that pace car to get back up to them.
And we'll see, where is our friend the pace car? Here it comes.
So as they cross the line here, this should be the finishing order as they cross here.
Man, it's putting Jimmy Reynolds. Is he going to stay out in front? Nope, Rick Seibran's going to get past him. Is Dean Wilkinson going to fall in? So Reynolds, I believe, still going to take a podium finish.
And remember, if they're not in order as they cross the line, they will get a black and they won't finish the race. Everyone's congratulating Jimmy, so it looks like he won it.
And this might be a commercial break for us to figure it out, because our board showing Rick the winner. We've got one showing Jimmy Reynolds. We got one showing Rick. Is it going to be Reynolds, Gathray, and Seibrands?
That's what it looks like. Looks like the unofficial results on the results screen in iRacing is Jimmy Reynolds, Joshua Gathray, and Rick Seibrands.
So, woof. It is all sorts of mixed up. We'll head to quick commercial and give these guys a minute to get themselves all situated, and we'll start pulling them up for our podium finishes. We'll be back in a minute. All right, and we are back. Looks like we've got two of the drivers still missing our second place finish, Joshua Gathright. But Rick, Guy, and Dave in the booth, you got a copy.
Sure do.
Man, what a finish. I don't know which one was a little bit more chaotic, tonight or the actual NASCAR race, both of them ending in chaos, and you were able to survive, man. Get it done. How you feeling?
Yeah, survive. That's what it was, too. Yeah, I was watching that NASCAR race, too. That's pretty crazy. But how about that 4 wide there on that last lap there, man? I did not expect that from the 55, man. He gave it a great shot there and a great run. And we was really tight racing there 4 wide. And, coming through the trial while there, just all heck was break loose. Looks like, watch it now, just a little bit of contact, just hard racing. And I feel bad for my teammate Mark there. He was in pretty good position there to get a really good finish tonight and got collected. But, Jimmy snuck by there on the inside, and it looks like he's took home the W. And I know he needed a good finish here to advance onto the playoffs, so congrats to him. And momentum for him going into the playoffs is going to be huge.
Oh, it's definitely going to be huge as the playoffs are going to begin next week. How was it riding that Gen 4 last week? We saw you guys in the Xfinity. Tell us about some of the differences you had to experience.
Well, I know last week we had I know we got caught up there late in a big wreck and we didn't get the finish we wanted. So I'm just really glad that, to get lucky and be able to talk to you guys tonight, because we could have easily been a part of that tonight and be back there in 12th. But these cars here, they just don't push nearly that well. And I don't know if they'll see these in the playoffs. I hope they don't. But if they do, oof, they're going to be in for it, Max. It doesn't take much to upset the car in front of you. And you'll get that at the end of these races, unfortunately.
Man, and I'll tell you what, you would not believe it after watching tonight's race where you guys stayed 3 wide most of the way until we were getting into some green flag pit stops. A lot of 3 wide going and cars able to just battle 2 cars versus 4 cars. They were pushing each other. You saw a couple cars break loose a couple times, but really excellent driving tonight by the league. And, man, sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and tonight it was on your side as you were able to battle all the way back and take a third. And I don't know where Gathright is. He was able to sneak on by for second, and Mr. Reynolds finishes this race. So congratulations.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats to Gathright, and good win on Jimmy's part. I got to thank all the fans at home, you guys, for doing the broadcast. And can't wait for next week, man. This league has everything going for it right now, man. It's a lot of good racing, and all the fans out there got a good show tonight.
All right, Rick. Well, we'll catch you next week as we head into playoff racing.
Thank you, guys.
Rick Sybrands, well, he finishes third. I'm going to do one more scan over. Do you see a Gathright? Oh, I see a Gathright. Pull him up here. Room 4.
Got him.
As we're going to find him. Josh Gathright, welcome to the booth. Guy and Dave, how you feeling?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, we were looking for you in Discord. Couldn't find you. Sent you some messages. I'm glad to have you up here. Tell us about this last lap, knowing that green-white checkers were out, and it was going to be a survival battle, man. How'd you get through it?
Well, I kept my foot on the floor and didn't die.
And did not die.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got a little
So
lucky
you're
with
gonna-
you.
You were going to either see the checkered flag or God tonight, huh?
Yep, that's what I said before the last restart. I said, all right, boys, we're not lifting until we see Jesus or checkered flag. So, and that's what we did. So,
Well, it almost worked out. You finished second tonight. Man, had some incredible runs. You were one of the drivers early who were testing that third line. Spent a lot of the night up there until we got into green flag pit stops. How's that third line faring compared to, maybe those guys on the bottom?
that third line's great. You get stuck on the bottom, you're kind of stuck. You go to that top side and you have the dumbs or the balls, whatever you want to call it, side draft the second line. You can pretty much get to the front on your own, but you're not gonna go past them. So you need help to get around them, but you can get to the front on third line on your own if you push it.
Well, and we saw it a couple times. Saw a couple drivers, maybe 8 cars back, able to drive their way right back up. But man, you spent a lot of time out there. Kept the car pretty clean tonight, and able to bring home a podium finish. Finished second, man. So, how you feeling about going into the playoffs?
I'm feeling like I'm going to miss next week because I got work, and best of luck to all these gentlemen who make the race.
All right, man. Well, before we let out, we'll leave off with the floor is yours. Give you the opportunity to thank all family, friends, and sponsors you got.
Yeah, man, just thank you to you guys for putting this on. Thanks for the NSRA guys for hosting the league, and yeah, another great Sunday race. I love this car, so anytime I get a chance to run this car, I'm very happy. So yeah, thank you guys, and thank NSRA.
All right, buddy. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll catch you here in 2 weeks then, hopefully. And sucks you got to work, but you'll be missed in the league.
Yeah, well, I gotta go make that bread money. So
Sure do. So
I'll catch y'all later.
all right, man. And finally, able to survive the chaotic last lap. Somehow, Jimmy Reynolds brings it home. Needed a big finish tonight before this playoff run. Definitely got the momentum you needed. How we feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I really wasn't expecting that because I was during the race. I got put in a wall on accident, and luckily it was right before a pit, so I was able to get in, get a meatball fix, take the fast repair, get back out, and then it was me and Sean like most of the dang race, half a lap behind. Field was catching us. We got to where the field was. I think we were coming to 5 to go, and we were still, I think, 5 seconds in front of the field, which we were about to get lapped. And then that caution came out. So that saved my butt right there.
Well, sometimes when it's going good, man, it's all the luck on your side, and you definitely needed it tonight. You were able to survive the big one that had to have seemed like it was happening all around you. It started in the front and just collected so many cars, as we've watched it on replay a couple times now. How are we feeling about heading into the playoffs starting next week?
I feel pretty good. I don't know how the points and all that worked out, so hopefully I made it. If I didn't, it's fine, but hopefully I did, and we can get in there and start doing some good playoff races. I really like this car, but I'm not sure what cars we're going to be running in the playoffs, but yeah, I'm excited.
Well, tonight's race was brought to us by the Robert Jordan 74, so 6 less laps as normal scheduled, but for a great cause with, remembering Robert Jordan, and you guys definitely did not disappoint. Some 3 wide, some 4 wide. Heck of a show by the entire league, man, and you were just able to get it done, so big congratulations to you. Before we let you out of here, we'll give you the opportunity to thank who you got to thank and get you on to next week. Floor's yours.
I want to thank my wife for letting me come in here and do this a few times a week. Thank you for broadcasting. Thanks, David O and all the admins for everything they do for the league. Love NSRA. Been here quite a while. Love the league, the drivers in it. Just appreciate everybody because without them, there'd be no us. So thank you, and we'll take this momentum into next week.
That's it. Well, again, Jimmy, congratulations, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, and that's Jimmy Reynolds with that 17, able to survive the chaos at Dega. So we saw chaos tonight with the real Cup Series going, and we get a little bit more chaos tonight. Is this anything that's coming our way this week as we broadcast tomorrow at the Tour as they head to Daytona for their first elimination race, and then head to Wednesday night for the playoffs beginning at Darlington. So will we see some more chaos throughout the week? Well, I don't think it's over yet. I think we're going to see hard racing all week. We're going to see challenges ahead. Thursday night, we'll head to SCSRA and recap it all and see if Hartney gets some guests on board. Maybe a little bit more Adam St. John with a better internet connection. We'll get him on there. But
man, I hope so. We talked to him briefly after that, and he said that after hearing our interview, he's on board with getting Starlink. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if he comes up. Next week, these guys are heading to Daytona in their first round in the Xfinity car, so they're heading back to those. So we'll see how their first round goes. Like I said, a lot of people first round of playoffs every series actually this week. So it's going to be a lot of interesting racing, a lot of close racing. Darlington's going to prove to be really interesting in the next gen cars. I know Duvendak is your favorite for that track, so it's gonna be a hell of a week, and we'll recap it all on Thursday on the SCSRA Live.
And that's going to be it. You see our stream schedule up top: Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. If if you're a broadcaster and you want to maybe get into the booth, give me or Hartney a holler, and we'll try to give you some opportunities and allow us to continue to expand. I can't be every night, but I would love some help. So, but
We're working on it, man. We're trying.
Well, you never know who's watching. They may want to be like, you know what? I want to be part of it, and I want my own potato. I can make that happen.
Tony Starch is already taken, and Ricky Spud, or what is it called?
Ricky Spud.
Yeah, Ricky Spud's already taken. We'll see what
Ricky
happens.
Spud and old Tony Starch. I'm gonna have to make me a Ricky Spud one. I'm gonna have to try to see what I can do to modify Mr. Starch here. But man, that's gonna be it for us until tomorrow night. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and as always, thank you to the SCSRA Broadcasting admins. Well, we got Hartney here for allowing us to continue to grow and put on a great show for you guys. Hartney, what you got?
The last thing I got: like, subscribe, do all the fun things, guys. Help the channel out. We're reaching towards 100 subscribers. We've only been doing this for a season, so we're on a great momentum. But if you can help the channel out, like, subscribe, interact. Adam St. John, I see you up there in chat, bud. Thanks for stopping by. Same thing for Balenciaga. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please, by all means, reach out to us on YouTube. You can also email us at admin@scsra.net. Thanks for joining tonight, guys. Y'all have a good rest of your night.
We'll see you.